Alrighty, so I am still in Indiana and still coping with this lockdown thing like the rest of you. And as promised, I'm now going to go over my daypack contents with you guys. And this one, I almost feel like this one's more important than the search and rescue 24-hour bag because this one is what most people are going to have some version of when they go out for a day hike, just like up and down the trail, and they assume they're not going to be out for very long. Um, and I have a couple of things in here that are incredibly important to have with you that most people think that they're not going to need on a day hike. So I want to go over this with you guys. So this is my day pack, and I have laid out everything that I carry in it on a normal basis here. The pack itself is just a Moab, a 511 Moab, and it's a sling pack, and it's a really great pack. I've had it for over a year now. I'm actually going to do a review of it, a video for a review of it here pretty soon. But everything that I have in there is laid out, and starting over here. Well, first things first, I have this patch on my bag because on my bag is a medical kit, a trauma kit, and you can see I've got some clothing shears tucked back there behind it. But this is in the event that I have an accident on the trail and get knocked unconscious and someone were to come along. This would represent to them, hopefully, that hey, there's probably a medical kit somewhere in this bag, and they might have the means to, I don't know, save my life or help me out in whatever way I might need help. This is just basic medicine. This right here is like some eye allergy drops, medicated Vaseline lip balm. That's for sinuses. Just a couple of. I've got way more in that trauma kit to close up wounds, but this is just like quick access, not have to open the trauma kit. Just a couple of collagen band-aids, which are pretty amazing. You should look into those. And then these awesome little meth bags. They actually sell these not to cut your meth and sell it, but to do what I've done with and, divvy up pills that you might actually have to take. Just make sure you label them well. Like you'll see, I've got Tylenol, 500 milligrams, and then this is a prescription medicine that I need. It's listed, an antihistamine, and a couple of other sinus-related medicines, but stuff that I'm going to need when I'm out there if I start to get, say, a migraine, which is not an uncommon occurrence for me. So just basic meds that you would need, and maybe someone else, like, say, some Benadryl. I usually have Benadryl in there. I need to put another little baggie of some Benadryl in there in case someone has an allergic reaction, etc. Excuse me. And then over here, obviously, you want to have a flashlight in case it gets dark on you, and then I have spare batteries for the flashlight. Batteries in it, set of spares, a good knife. Just like, don't ever go anywhere without a knife. It's just ridiculous to not have a knife with you. It serves so many purposes. Little spoon. That's not so much necessary on an everyday basis, but it's something I always keep with me. Here is the stuff that a lot of people are not going to take with them in a day pack. Just like a bag, you're going to go walk up around White Rock or something. But what's in here, and you can see how small it is. One's a compass. Another is a signaling device, a whistle, and a mirror. And then over here, I've got two ways to start a fire: a windproof, waterproof lighter, and then a striker. These two right here for a striker to start a fire. And then hand sanitizer, not just hand sanitizer, but fire gel in a bottle. And then a small, this is not a Life Straw, this is actually Sawyer brand, but it's the same thing as what a Life Straw does, so you have water. And then my little bivy sack I've talked about so many times, this little glorified space blanket. So you have shelter, water, fire, and a way to signal in case you get lost, and then a compass so that maybe you don't have to use those signals. And you can see, if you put all that together, how little space it would take up in the big picture, the big scheme of things. And those right there are extremely important, and I'm going to tell you why. A good majority of missing persons cases and people that search and rescue teams are going out and looking for were simply going out on a day hike. I can think of a half dozen famous cases right off the top of my head, and the people got a little bit turned around, or they quit paying attention to the trail and thought ended up on a game trail, and suddenly they're lost. And there's one very famous case of two young ladies that were in Panama hiking on a very well marked, very well maintained trail, and they got lost, and it ended quite tragically for them. And the interesting thing about that story, when you go look into it, is they did find their remains. Of course, they found their phone, they found their camera, and when they put together the pieces, they were able to extract that data from their electronic devices. These young ladies were incredibly resourceful in how they used their phone to try to save battery. Like, they made so much use of what little they had. And if they had just had a way to start a fire and a way to signal, I would bet you my wallet that it would have ended differently for them. All they had in their bags was like one granola bar, 2 bottles of water. There wasn't much there. But the way they utilized what little resources they had really showed. They survived for the better part of, I think, 8 days. And if they had just had a way to signal to their searchers, a way to keep themselves warm and stay put, I promise you that story would have ended differently. And that's why I think it's so important that you have these 2 or 3 small, lightweight little things that'll pack easily down into your day bag. That's all of them right there. Tucked down into the bottom of the bag somewhere. May never need to use them, but if you ever do need to use them, it's irreplaceable not to have them. Moving on up here, we're still kind of in spring, and we're still having some cold days here and there, so I keep a neck gaiter tucked down in my bag, a couple of good cold weather gloves, a ski cap. This I think everyone should have. This is a battery bank, just so I can charge my phone, because with a phone, even if you don't have cell service, you can use a lot of topographic map apps out there that will still ping your GPS location with preloaded maps. Obviously, a phone is indispensable in a lot of ways, especially if you can get a bar or two of service. So I always keep one of those with me. Up there, that's just actually some of my camera specific stuff. So probably not going to pertain to you, but just some lens cleaning cloths and an extra lens, etc. And then down here, I think the granddaddy of them all is some baby wipes. I think we all know what baby wipes are for, and I think we all know how important they are given this whole COVID thing right now, and how hard it was for people to find rump ribbon, as my mother used to say. And then Ziploc bags. What are the Ziploc bags for, you might ask? Well, the Ziploc bags are for your used baby wipes, because, as you'll recall, you're supposed to, if you pack it in, pack it out. So you don't have to take your leftovers back in, but you need to take your baby wipes back in. They're not super biodegradable. You don't want to leave them out there, so carry your Ziploc bags in case things get a little wonky in the backcountry. That's what I carry in my day pack. That's just for little short hikes, going out, taking pictures, taking a trail somewhere. It's got things to keep you comfortable. That stuff right there will save your day. If you start to get a headache, that'll save your day. It's indispensable having a few basic medicines in your bag, and everything else is just there to keep you comfortable and safe. Not a lot to it, and there's not a lot of weight there. It's not a lot of stuff to carry in a day pack, especially a pack like this. There's so much room in this bag when I'm done packing it up. It holds my camera, tripod, and a couple of bottles of water, whatever I want to put in there, and there's still room to spare. So that is the contents of my day pack. So yeah, this whole COVID thing, having to stay inside all the time when I'm not at work, I know you guys are feeling it just like I am. But this is one way to pass the time. Go through your gear, make notes. What do you need? What do you not have? And make sure your gear's working. Check your batteries and your flashlights. Change them out for fresh batteries. Just kind of go over your gear and go through your bag and get yourself ready for the summer. Because guys, guess what? Better days are ahead. This COVID thing will end. The summer will get here. We will get to go hiking again. We will get to go out on the river again. I cannot wait to go sleep in a hammock on the side of the Mulberry River, and it's going to happen. And it's going to happen sooner than you think. So keep your head up and get your gear taken care of. I am now going to do my part to help out the locals and find me a local restaurant to put in a takeout order from and get me some dinner. This COVID thing is not great on a whole lot of levels, but there's always a silver lining that can be taken from these kinds of things. And I think right now that silver lining is going to be us coming together as people and maybe trying to learn to put down some of our divisions and realize that a whole lot of people are in need and try to do our parts to help them out as we go. And this COVID thing is an opportunity to do that. So you guys stay healthy, and we'll catch you next time.
We here at Studio 119 would like to remind all of you out there listening, wherever you might be, that though the hill might be steep and the trail be rocky, the mountaintop awaits. Carry on.